First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for making my husband take over for a day so I can play video games? I am a mom of 4. I know that's a lot of kids, but I wouldn't change it. The kids are 10 male, 9 female, 6 male, and 2 male. I am a stay-at-home mom, while my husband works Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. His Saturdays are pretty relaxed. He hangs out with the kids, then goes out with the boys that night. Sunday is church and a family dinner. My weeks are the complete opposite. I don't relax. I'm 100% overwhelmed and 150% stressed to the max. My normal daily schedule is 5:30, wake up, shower, coffee in silence. 6:30, set out clothes, wake up house. 7:30, cook/tend to 2-year-old. 8, eating, make husband's lunch. 8:30, get kids logged on and set up for school. 9 to 11, breakfast cleanup, help kids with school, entertain 2-year-old, light cleaning, fix snacks. 11 to 12:30, fix lunch, feed kids, take kids out to play while tending garden. 1 to 3, deep cleaning one room, entertain kids. 3 to 4, laundry. 4 to 5:30, dinner prep and cooking. 5 to 6, feed everyone. 6 to 7, run errands/after dinner cleanup. 7 to 8, bath time/snacks, bedtime routine. 8 to 9, get kids in bed. 9 to 10, clean, then sleep. This finally came to a head this last Friday when my husband got upset with me for complaining that I was tired. I asked him what he did every day that he's too tired to help out. And maybe that's why I'm exhausted, that I do everything. I haven't had a break since my 2-year-old was born. He told me I didn't need a break, that it's easy to do my job. I ended up screaming that the next day, he is tending to the house, and that kids and I was locking myself in our room and playing video games all day. True to my word, I refused to unlock the door Saturday or do anything. My mother-in-law called me, pissed that I could do that to my family, and that I was the a-hole for ignoring my family to play games. I told her that maybe if she raised her son better, it wouldn't have come to this. My husband is angry, my mother-in-law is angry, and I feel like the a-hole. Am I the a-hole? Edit. My husband is a web developer. When he gets home, he sits down and relaxes for the rest of the evening. He doesn't entertain the kids. He doesn't help with the house. He relaxes because he has worked so hard and is exhausted. My kids do not get fed junk food, craft meals, or frozen meals. I make everything from scratch because it's healthier. They get 30 minutes to 1 hour of screen time a day. They do have small chores that help a little, but I do all of the big stuff. I have tried to talk to him about this before and have laid out exactly what can be done to help me. I get ignored. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. That was a baller move, and I salute you. If your husband can't acknowledge that being a stay-at-home mom during a pandemic is a tough job, then he can learn the hard way. 100%. It's hilarious he called his own mom when this happened, as if mother-in-law has any power in this situation. Good on you, OP. I hope a constructive conversation happened Saturday night. Granted, I'm a male, and I will say my mother-in-law tried to stick her nose where it didn't belong. Once. Once was enough. The time is long overdue for the wife to re-educate hubby first, and is crying to mommy, and then having a serious talk with mommy. He said, it's easy to do my job. He then proceeds to do your job for a day and call his mom to complain. Lol, not the a-hole. Not the a-hole, but did he do her job for 1 day? Sure, he probably took care of the kids. But he didn't have to do online school, and I doubt he did anything of the cleaning. OP needs to ask him, how much schoolwork did the kids get done today? Also, did you do at least 1 load of laundry? Deep clean 1 room? Meal prep, blah, etc.? Point out she does all of that too. Guaranteed he got takeout or delivery for meals. Not the a-hole. Why was your mother-in-law involved? She's not an authority in your home or marriage. It sucks that it got to be a fight. Scheduling some proper time off for yourself needs to become a regular thing. You and your husband need to discuss this calmly, and it needs to be respectful. Mother-in-law was involved because OP's husband couldn't handle his own kids and household for a few hours and went crying to his mommy. Now for the next story. Update. Am I the a-hole for going to work for a few days to teach my husband a lesson? Original story. Okay, I get the title sounds horrible, but hear me out. I have a 12-year-old son and a 13-month-old. Before the pandemic, I worked part-time, went to school part-time, and took care of the house/kids when not doing the other two. Since the pandemic, I became a stay-at-home mom still going to school, taking care of the house/kids. But now with school back in session and my son doing e-learning, I also help a lot with that. I have a pretty strict schedule that I keep for myself to allow me to get household chores and the schooling for my son and myself done each day. One day last week, I had a migraine. Nothing I did helped ease it. At some point after 3 p.m., after my son was out of school and baby was down for a nap, I laid on the couch to try and help the migraine, which did help. My husband came home while I was sleeping and was already in a crap mood and yelled at me that I didn't do anything all day, except sleep, eat, and get fat. I tried to explain to him I hadn't been feeling well and napped because of that. He said that was an excuse, and how would I like it if I went to work all day and he was home with the children and I came in and he was asleep on the couch? I said I would assume you were tired or not feeling well. Husband took a few days off work. I made arrangements with a friend to do a temp work with her. I went to work for a few days, leaving him my daily schedule as a guide. The first day, he called me 20 times because he couldn't handle my son's schoolwork, couldn't handle taking care of the baby, couldn't even go to the bathroom without one of them needing something. The second day, he called me 10 times with the same complaints. Both days he was asleep on the couch because he was exhausted from trying to keep up with the kids and housework. I went to work the third day. He showed up with the kids and dropped them off without saying anything to me or my friend. Luckily, my friend didn't mind. When I got home the third evening, he was asleep on the couch. I let him sleep. I mowed the grass, pulled weeds, cleaned up the house, made dinner. I tried to wake him for dinner. He refused to wake up. Got the kids bathed and ready for bed before he woke up. Husband barely did the minimum of caring for the house and kids while I worked. He said I did it to make him look like a crap parent. I said no, I did it to teach you a lesson. That just because you don't see me actively doing something when you come home doesn't mean I haven't done anything all day. This all started because you refused to let me tell you I had a migraine and was just barely able to function that day. Luckily, oldest knows what he needs to do for schoolwork, just sometimes needs some help with it. Baby is up at 7 but goes down for a nap at 12 for a nap. He sleeps 3 to 4 hours. Am I the a-hole for trying to get husband to see what I do on a daily basis? Now for the top comments before we read the update. Yelled at me that I didn't do anything all day except sleep, eat, and get fat. Not the a-hole. I am surprised you are tolerating that type of verbal abuse, and I would highly recommend therapy, and also a divorce attorney. Update to clarify my position, since several people are clutching their pearls at the mere mention of the D word. I would like to point out that I recommended a divorce attorney, not a divorce. For anyone experiencing spousal abuse, verbal, emotional, or physical, simply thinking of your exit strategy can be overwhelming and scary. Speaking with a divorce attorney can do several things. 1. It can help you understand the laws of your state and the legal options available to you during the process. 2. It can give you a sense of timeline and understand how the process would work in the court system. 3. It can give you an understanding of the division of custody and marital assets. Armed with this information, you will be able to have a better control over a situation should the need arise. You'd never berate someone for speaking with an investment advisor for information or consulting a doctor for second opinion, so I'm not sure why consulting an attorney to understand how divorce works should continue to be so stigmatized by society. Not the a-hole. Husband barely did the minimum of caring for the house and kids while I worked. He said I did it to make him look like a crap parent. No. I didn't do it to make you look like a crap parent. I did it to show you you were being a crappy person to me. But apparently I'm not done, if you still haven't learned the lesson. Not the a-hole. You didn't do it to make him look like a crap parent. He's chosen to be a crap parent and husband, and you forced him to at least slightly understand that. The question is, what do you do now? Because spending the rest of your life with someone who treats you this way is not the answer. And now for the update. In the days that followed that post, I read the comments and messages from everyone here. Seriously, thank you guys. Gave me a ton to think about. I told my husband that I wanted to separate, not a divorce, as I wanted to try therapy before making that decision. That I didn't feel like he appreciated what I do every single day. I also said that he needed to get into therapy if he wanted to have a chance to save our marriage. We could go together or separately, but I already had an appointment set for myself. The kids and I are staying with a friend who I do pay some rent to, as well as I clean up and help her in her little shop when she needs it. I have the kids the majority of the time. While he's at work, the kids are with me. 3 nights a week the kids will go with him, usually Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights depending on his work schedule. We have been to 2 virtual therapy sessions with a marriage counselor. He is also seeing a counselor on his own, as I am. In the weeks since the post, I have seen a difference in how my husband speaks and acts towards me. Whether it stays is another matter. He wasn't always the angry and grateful man that was portrayed in my previous post. There was a time when he actually showed he appreciated the things I did and would never say hurtful things to me. I'm not sure when it all began to change, and when I began to believe it was okay, the things he said and how he acted. We both have a long road to get back to normal. I do hope it's with him, but I'll be okay if it's not. I do love my husband, and I want to go home to him. A few mutual friends that know the full story of what's going on with husband and I texted me to tell me that they have noticed a change in his behavior as well. One pointed out that he's not drinking like he used to, but he's not wanting to go home either. According to his friend, my husband complains that it's too quiet at home, that it doesn't feel like home. Now for some comments. OP, I remember your post from weeks back, and you were a better person than I would have been. While you were the wrong party, you were still acting as the bigger person as you continued to work and take the bulk of the childcare duties, and you didn't displace him. With all your efforts, I'm glad to hear that he realizes that even when he is feeling the effects of the best possible scenario of a divorce, that he realizes he still isn't happy. It does sound like you had a raw end of the deal for a long time, and I'm sure the change in routines that COVID caused didn't make life easier for either of you. So, I'm glad to hear that therapy is working, and really hoping he won't take you for granted anymore, no matter what you decide to do. OP, you're my idol. Good luck and keep us posted. Same. I barely got past him yelling at her for daring to lay down. Migraine or no migraine, there shouldn't be an issue about needing a rest with as much as she does. And I was like, nope, we're done here. My partner's pretty overwhelmed with housework, school, work and kids, just like I am. And he definitely gets a crappy attitude where he gets snappy and sighs and grumbles. But yelling at me, saying crap like that? Nope. Good for you. Hopefully, this will show him to not take you and your supermom skills for granted anymore. I hope that it stays, and you can go back to a happy marriage, and that you spoke to the attorney just in case anything went south. Now, for the last story. Am I the a-hole for asking my husband not to bring his friend around? My 43 female, husband 45 male, has a friend, Todd, 39 male, that he has been hanging out with since we moved to our new state for work 5 years ago. When we first moved here, I struggled to find a new job. Todd would make passive-aggressive comments about how nice it must be to have someone support me. When I told my husband about it, he told me that Todd was joking and didn't mean it. I told him that it offended me and that I didn't find it funny, and he told me that I was taking it out of context. Since then, Todd has made more offensive comments. Last month, when I brought my husband a coffee and some food to his work, he was working overtime and was tired and hungry. Todd saw me in the parking lot and remarked about how nice it must be to have a wife that brings coffee and food on command. I told him that I was not a dog and do not talk to me like that. The next day, when he saw my husband, he told him about the conversation we had in the parking lot and said that I was rude to him for no reason. So I told my husband what he said, and I told him that I will not be spoken to like that. My husband told me that I need to relax and that he didn't mean to be rude. Last week was the last straw. I replaced my phone after 7 years of having it. I had been saving money for 6 months to pay straight cash for the new phone. Unbeknownst to me, my husband had ordered it for me as a surprise. I was so excited and happy to finally have a phone that worked right. The night that I got it, we went out to dinner and ran into Todd while we were waiting for a table. Apparently, he knew that my husband was getting me a new phone, and even remarked how spoiled I was and how hard my husband works for me to just spend his money. I saw red. I told him that first of all, I didn't spend his money. He did. That I have a job and more than capable of buying my own phone, and that he was a petty, jealous a-hole who was angry because he can't find a girlfriend who will put up with his crap. So he takes it out on me because I'm the only woman who will speak to him. We ended up just going home, and my husband gave me the silent treatment the whole ride home. As soon as we walked in the door, he told me that I embarrassed him. I told him that I was embarrassed when his friend told me that I was some kind of money-grubbing leech, and he just stood there and allowed it to happen. I told him that I do not want Todd around anymore, and that he wasn't welcome in the house. My husband thinks that I am overreacting, and that is just how Todd is. Am I the a-hole for asking my husband not to bring him around anymore? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. You tried to talk to your husband about how Todd makes you feel multiple times. Your husband ignored you, so you eventually snapped. Tell your husband he can marry Todd, if Todd's feelings are more important than yours. I guarantee you, if the shoe was on the other foot and you had a friend disrespecting your husband, they would be banned, no question. It really says something that your husband is more comfortable letting Todd make jokes that make you uncomfortable and upset than just asking his friend to please stop. He values his man credit with his man friend more than your feelings. Todd isn't joking. He's saying mean things, then using the age-old, I was just joking. You just don't have a sense of humor, when a woman pushes back. If it's just a joke, it shouldn't cost you anything to stop when you realize it upsets someone. The only reason you wouldn't stop is because the goal is to upset someone. Not the a-hole. Todd sounds like a jealous side chick. It truly feels that way. Todd likes his women very subservient. Think 50s housewife types. And I am the exact opposite. He gets upset that he can't find a woman that will live up to his insanely high standards. He's short, / on the heavy side, and wants supermodel beauty. And who will just do whatever he wants whenever he wants. Let me guess. Todd also likes to complain about how females are shallow and always overlooking nice guys like himself. Not the a-hole, by the way. Seems like you have met Todd before. I'm sorry. He literally always says that women always overlook him, and how nice he is and how much better he is than other men. Sometimes I wonder if he is jealous I chose my husband and not him. Not that I would want him. He is utterly repulsive. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.